There is this feeling I get sometimes, this churning, contorting desire propelling me. It swells within me. The longer I ignore it, the louder it gets. I can't control it, only confide in it. It's satisfied, but only for a little while. At first it only nudges me, like a quick text message that bills are almost due, you can't fall through, you'll have to pay up soon. Don't skip out now, make the payment in full, or he'll come back like a typhoon. The payment's not always the same. Give him what he wants, or he'll never go away. I bought a ticket, or someone did it for me. I played the lotto, I rolled the dice. I needed at least a 4, but I hit 6. I was fortunate enough to be born in a country without scarcity, have a family willing to provide for me. We didn't have much, but we had a roof, and that rumbling only came so often. We could pay it in full and still have a room full. I grew up with opportunity and options, and of those provisions I made maybe just decent decisions, so that now I have more than I need. Not much, but just enough to when a person sacrifices their pride enough to come up and ask me if I could ease the rough rumbling in their stomachs for maybe just a day or an hour, I can say of course. I wasn't blessed with a lot of intellect, maybe just enough to understand, but I find my heart overflowing with compassion and empathy, realizing that any one of those people could easily be me. Rolling a 2 is just as likely as rolling a 6. I didn't choose much in this life, but at the very least I can try to make life better for other people. I sat down at a new restaurant today. I ordered some tacos that turned out to be really shitty. The bill came back and I paid $14 for them. I paid $14 for really shitty tacos today, and that's not really a big deal, but I read online that it only cost $1.50 to give water to a child in Africa for a year, and that doesn't make any sense because I go down to the store and a bottle of water costs $1.50 by itself. I think to myself and I realize that water literally falls from the sky. It is the most abundant resource on this earth. Why is there a price tag on this molecular construct that is the most vital thing to a life other than air? It costs 25 cents to feed a child in a third world country for a day. I realize that people aren't starving because there's not enough to go around. They're starving because they don't have anything to give in return. I take that 25 cents, I flip the coin. Heads is money and power, tails is the children in Yemen, and as I watch the coin drop, I look up at the TV to see my president agree to sign a $100 billion weapons deal with Saudi Arabia so that they can bomb their cities and cut their people off from any amount of resource that might get to them. They'd rather fight their war than give anything to the poor. It astounds me. It astonishes me because statistics, they speak to me, and if knowledge is power, it doesn't take much to know that 9.1 million people die from hunger every year. 3.1 million children breathe their last breath this year due to malnutrition. Right now there are 13 million Yemen civilians on the brink of starvation. I did the math for you, don't worry, I did the math. There are 31,536 seconds in a year, meaning that every 10 seconds a child under 5 passes away from malnutrition. What does that mean? For the length of this video, every 3.4 seconds a soul succumbs to death by starvation. 3, 2, 1. God help us all. Not that I know anything about it. All I can tell you is how they describe it. They describe it as a gnawing, vicious animal rummaging away at their insides, consuming every fiber of their being. It can go on like that for 45 days, and I haven't come to know any of them. Why should we care? We're not one of them.